Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was getting sidetracked while I was watching through Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. But now we can finally get this goddamn party started. Hit now. Revenge of the Fallen, aka Transformers 2, aka 2009. Best year of entertainment, and this is the number one sci fi film of the year. Peak sci fi as well, which, which you're certainly not going to be able to get nowadays. Given Given the state of what Hollywood's become under so much ego and shit, pardon my language, but it all reveals who the true leader of the Decepticon it really is that was behind the events of Megatron's search for the Allspark and the Decepticons' invasion of Earth in the first film. And that is The Fallen, voiced by the late Tony Todd, who just passed away last year. Rest in peace is to the great horror movie legend after doing his after providing his voice over for the character, the titular villain himself. Man, it's quite a lot of surprises this movie showed that you're simply man, it's such peak sci-fi you'll never see again. Even though this poster is obviously fan made, it definitely helps to show. Oh God, sorry guys, I'm kind of yawny, because oh boy, I've kind of been quite a lot. Oh, what do we got here? Huh, this would be huh, wow. Well, I tell you folks, I love this movie. Best sci-fi action flick of all time. Even Endgame, even, even for an almost $3 billion grossing film like Endgame, can't even have perfectly touched up sci-fi films like this. 10 years apart. Ah, year nine of a decade. Whew, is when movies would reach their peak at a certain gross revenue streak. But you're certainly not going to see Secret Wars cracking more than Endgame, given all the damage that's been done. That is, of course, we can't. Yeah. Wow. I mean, Michael Bay did a good job despite the reshoots and stuff. It all began with a flashback of the Fallen and his brothers. Council of Primes. Oh, sorry guys, I'm too fucking yawn. Him and the Council of Primes arriving on Earth, where he attempted to slaughter the humans and start using his machine on the sun. Then flash forward to present-day Shanghai. Autobots arrive with net teams with Nest with Nest strike forces to engage two Decepticons. One that is sideways, which is a small car, and the other is a big one called Demolisher, which transforms into a mecha into a giga-sized excavator called a bagger. The RC twins put up a good chase sideways. And then Sideswipe took him out with his own blades. And as for Ironhide, he chases after Demolisher on a highway bridge, who was killing dozens of Chinese citizens on a bridge until he and Optimus knocked him off and then executed him inside a hangar. Sam discovers a fragment of the Allspark. Wow. Yeah, it was inside his book bag. It turned on and it started bringing the whole kitchen appliance set to life. Bumblebee Kate was able to rescue, but doing so at the cost of his and his parents' house and tranquility. Yeah. Tranquility, Nevada or California, wherever it is. Yeah. Taylor shows up where Sam had Bumblebee sealed away inside the garage, telling them he's not taking him with him to college, which makes Bumblebee sad. Michaela steps outside to strip off her coat and pants into her wedding gown to try to impress Sam with her bouquet of flowers as well. Yeah, that was okay. And boy, who would have thought? Then Sam had to leave for Philadelphia on a plane trip from California to Pennsylvania to go to college. Meanwhile, the Autobots were back at the hangar, went back to the nest base in New Jersey. See, where they are approached by this corrupt paranoid secretary called Galloway, who starts lecturing people on security and shit, while Optimus counters back, warning him if they leave and that Galloway is wrong, that they'd be safe from harm. Yeah. The Autobots are well respected by most of the U.S. military because without them, they wouldn't be able to fight the Decepticons. Huh. Well, you gotta wonder. Soon as Sam gets to college, he starts finding difficulty fitting in, especially when his parents showed up and his mom makes a scene in front of everybody. I mean, yeah, I kind of think the made error with the parent casting was, well, I think it was pretty much this named his mom that was, yeah, was going out of control. Well, meanwhile, there were sexy hot chicks in in the college dorm, and while he was exploring the place, yet his mother keeps embarrassing him while high on crack and shit. Yeah, super duper crack shit. But then Soundwave, the Decepticon communications sergeant, found a fragment of the Allspark at a nest base and shoots he shoots Ravage down like a missile on down to Earth to retrieve it. And Ravage, sending Reedman inside, start killing all the soldiers while fleeing with the fragment of the Allspark. Back at the college, Sam was with Leo, his roommate, and other guys hunting. Yes. Oh my God. Stalking chicks, sexy hot chicks, women in the college grounds, saying, "We're hunting." Yeah, and he was approached by this mysterious girl named Alice, who was quite shady, shifty, and suspicious too. Yeah, so much ego can be a problem, but so far I can see they're trying to be original with stuff. I mean, then Bumblebee shows up, going against Sam's orders not to join him at college, but only because of Ravage and Soundwave and Friedman stealing a fragment of the Allspark from the U.S. military. Wow. Yeah, of course. Soon as he gets in the car, Alice joins him in, but Bumblebee did not feel comfortable with her inside and starts harassing her, if you will, and starts spraying lubricant, if you will, on her, and which causes her to take off in disgust. Then everyone's favorite yellow Autobot Bumblebee brings Sam to Optimus at his local cemetery in Philadelphia, who was warning him about the heist back at the military base and that he needs to be ready. Meanwhile, the Ravage rallies with Constructicons, Mixmaster, Scrap Metal, Long Haul, and Rampage over on a cargo ship and leads them down to the depths of the Laurentian abyss, right where Megatron's corpse was buried. Sadly, it wasn't enough to keep them out, keep them from reaching him and getting him brought back to life. While they had to sacrifice the smallest of them all to rebuild and revive Megatron with the fragment at the same time. They succeeded, and then they ended up. Yeah, you wonder if there would be more screen time added to this revival of Megatron. I mean, we could have seen but tell whether or not Blackout was resurrected as Grindor, or if they had used some of his parts to rebuild Bone Crusher, and that Grindor had to take Blackout's Pavlo form and stuff. Yeah, Megatron emerges back onto the surface, but not without killing an, an entire sub of people just from smacking it with his right hand, right or left. As soon as he left the Earth, he regroups with Starscream at the fallen ship called the Nemesis on one of Saturn's moons. The Fallen informs him about a more powerful source of energon that's on Earth that he was looking for since during his time back on Earth when he claims that he was betrayed by his brothers called the Primes. Now we go back to the college where Sam starts having these breakdowns because of the energy from the Allspark that's that's spiking his adrenaline levels like fucking crazy. Oh god, yeah, crazy, twitchy, crazy Sam. He even embarrasses Rainn Wilson in front of the dean. Oh my god. Ray really loves including such edgy, raunchy humor in these things, in these movies of his. And certainly not just bad boys and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, that Michael Bay is quite sleazy and sneaky. Yeah. Soon after, soon afterwards, well, afterwards though, Sam was then approached and threatened by Alice in college. But lucky for him, Michaela was there to help him and Leo escape the pretender's wrath. And yeah, after a brief moment of arguing, Michaela was threatening to break up with Sam over him kissing a Decepticon pretender that was disguised as a sexy, hot Australian chick with an Americanized accent. Eesh. I mean, why couldn't Babe find someone who had a normal American accent? Why go through all that trouble pressuring foreign actresses to ditch their influential? Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Sorry, guys. I just find it weird for people to pull off accents and play characters from other countries that they're not from. Stuff. But as soon as they got to the car, Alice jumped on the hood, and Michaela kills the bitch by crashing her into a lamppost of solid metal. Sam referred to Alice as a baby, and that her parent, Grindor, her parent, came after them and drags them and brings them over to the factory where Megatron and Starscream were hiding out in. Yeah, Megatron was so angry he wanted to kill Sam for killing him with the Allspark in the first film, but was held back by the orders of the Fallen, and as well as the need of extracting all the knowledge from his head into his. But before they got the chance, Optimus and Bumblebee arrived to engage him and Starscream inside the abandoned factory. After after blowing Megatron and Starscream out of the building, Prime and Bumblebee flee with Sam, Michaela, and Leo, but not without splitting up. Optimus was in the woods being pursued by Megatron, only then to be only then to have to engage him while protecting Sam at the same time. Megatron called on Starscream and Grindor to help. Optimus kills Grindor, but ends up getting stabbed and shut down by Megatron with his own Blade Blaster cannon. And mm, his kill Megatron, and by killing Optimus, Megatron awakens the fallen from his stasis of slumber and brings his master down along with the rest of their armies. Sam was regrouped with Ironhide, Ratchet, and Sideswipe outside the woods on the open road, who end up scaring Megatron and Starscream away. Then after that, Megatron ordered all Decepticons to reveal themselves to the people on Earth. And while launching their attacks, yeah, oh boy. You also gotta wonder, yeah, wow. Because of the Decepticons committed terrorism throughout the planet, with the Fallen leading them on their attack on the U.S. Navy ships in the ocean. Megatron starts setting up a broadcast in New York City, putting his master on the broadcast to threaten everyone to find Sam or he'll bring extinction to them all. Yeah. Meanwhile, Ironhide and the other Autobots were being threatened by Galloway, turning the U.S. military troops against them and trying to put them away in confinement. So far, Bumblebee, Skids, and Mudflap were the only Autobots free to roam the Earth with Sam, Michaela, and Leo. After talking about after remembering the symbols, Sam, Michaela, and Leo went with the twins and Bumblebee to New York to meet up with Agent Simmons, who was now working at a deli at his mother's deli. Soon as he told them about the symbols, Simmons was able to let go of his rage and was more than happy to bring Sam down to the cellar where he had stacks of books and research papers on the history of the Transformers, the Autobots, and Decepticons. And man, he was stuck. He had a treasure trove full of history and ancient knowledge. Then they brought out and got him to read to help them decipher the symbols that he had. Yeah. Wheelie. Yeah, Wheelie told them that that in order to decipher them, they needed to find one of the seekers, in which they did so over at the Smithsonian Museum in the capital of the United States. Oh, Washington D.C. Of course. Yeah, I don't know why Bay would go too far making John Turturro and Raymond Rodriguez pull their pants down, but that's probably part of the reason to why the critics gave this movie a harsh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was really fun. Ugh, yeah, of course. You may wonder if we should even fight for the release of the full Bay cut to the Revenge of the Fallen movie and get more scenes of that were get the entire cut of the movie that was taken out by Paramount back at the time. Back when they were in a rush with their deadline, not willing to hold out any longer. I mean, rich people and shareholders have no patience, guys. And it's precisely everything wrong with Hollywood. Lack of patience, all fucking disgusting ego and shit, making them dictate and ruin everything behind our backs. But back to where we were. Jetfire was, as soon as they got into the museum, they found the SR-71 Blackbird Jetfire. They were scared as soon as they put the shard into him. They freaked out that he was a Decepticon without even realizing that he was a former Decepticon turned Autobot because he couldn't stand all the negativity from the Fallen and his forces. And it gave Wheelie the encouragement to change sides to Autobot. Soon as they got, yeah, soon as they got to the thing, well, soon as they followed Jetfire outside, he brought, he was able to transport them out of there and over to Petra Valley. Yeah, where they had to climb up the rocks to speak with him. Yeah, it's kind of strange too. Yeah. Oh, out in Jordan. Yeah, straight across from Gaza, Egypt. Cairo, Egypt, if you may. Pyramid of Gaza held the machine that the Fallen wanted to use to destroy the sun to create energon for his forces. As Jetfire explained to them on the mesa. Afterwards, he instructed them to follow Sam to follow his instincts of what the power of the Allspark has given him. And so they went off. Soon as they came to the gate, to the border, they were approached by the guards who ended up selling them out to the CIA and Soundwave, who alerted the Decepticons of his whereabouts. But soon as they got across, they finally made it into Cairo. They rested up for the night, but then at the break of dawn, Sam realized something about the Three Kings and where they needed to go to find it. They had to follow where one of the stars was located furthest, back into Petra, in the mount, over at the gates of Petra, right by the right by the tallest doorway entrance. Yeah, in the lobby, if you say. Yeah. Soon as they got there, Jetfire, the twins started to have a fight with one another, only to crack open the wall that featured a mural leading them right into the tomb of the primes where the matrix of leadership was. Sam gets a hold of it, even though it was turned to dust. And then they had to regroup with the U.S. military, who were able to get rid of Galloway and got the Autobots to come out of captivity. Ironhide and Sideswipe were ready to go, as well as the other Autobots. Soon as the Nest soldiers under Lennox and Epps' command landed out in the out in the e- out in Cairo, Egypt, to prepare for war with the Decepticons, or Pax Bellows Parabellum, if you will. Oh, wow. Yeah, Parabellum, indeed. Then, soon as Starscream spotted Sam and the gang, he ended up shooting a barrage of missiles at their position. Bumblebee created a large dust cloud to drive Starscream off. Then they had to split up, and Simmons wishes them good luck while being a distraction for the Decepticons. But even so, even if the soldiers were able to get there with the body of Prime, they were they weren't able to do it without putting up with Megatron and Starscream coming down to prevent his brother's resurrection from happening, as he called on the Constructicons, Long Haul, Rampage, Scrapper, Mixmaster, multiple Decepticon protoform drones, and Bone Crusher to find them, and then calls on Devastator, who who is scaring the crap out of Simmons, Spitz, Mudflap, and Skids that had transformed out of 7 to 10 construction vehicles from that were developed by by an American construction vehicle company in Connecticut. I mean, Connecticut created the bagger. Connecticut created the Terex construction vehicles. Could you believe it? Yeah, it's quite a huge shock and story and stuff. I mean, you can never always go. You can never misunderstand the power of transformations and stuff, or the power of combiners too. I mean, you have got to admit they did a really excellent job with the designs of these characters. Now let's get onto it. Yeah, Devastator, voiced by Frank Welker, aka Megatron. Megatron of G1, voiced Devastator, comprised of I don't know how many vehicles. I'm thinking about, well, it's hard to explain, but wow, what a beast. What a motherfucking beast. And would you look at that, trying to capture Devastator in his G1 green form, which they never did. But of course, you can't blame me. But at least one Constructicon managed to maintain his G1 color schemes in some form, but just, just no purple. And that would be Long Haul, who is seen joining Starscream and others in their search party for Sam and Michaela. But after pulling off the head of a Decepticon fly, it alerted Starscream into ripping off the rooftops and busting a building open to try to flush him out. Scrapper tried to stop him too, and Starscream missed when he ends up blowing up a rooftop without noticing that Sam and Michaela were able to escape. Then he called on Rampage to use his parents to bait them into a trap, only to be thwarted by Bumblebee, who ends up killing Rampage and Ravage at the same time. Michaela refuses to leave Sam and goes with him to regroup with Lennox and the rest of his Nest team. Along the way, they come across more obstacles over in the ruins. And God, do we have, is he something or what? Yeah, Devastator. Woo! Sorry, guys. And here's Long Haul. This is his. This is what Michael Bay used. This was a fan art that was used to help Bay create the character in the live action movies. But, but sure enough, Bone Crusher returns. Somehow, Bone Crusher returns. I mean, but hey, you don't see him with his weapons. Huh, that's awkward. Huh, having him cameo. You gotta wonder if Ironhide took this guy down at the same time. Then you have Scrap. And of course, you have Megatron. Megatron was desperate to keep Optimus from being revived in order to protect his master from being killed. But luckily, you had the power of Sideswipe. Oh dear, sorry folks. Oh, no, 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 no. All right, here we go. Sideswiping on the battlefield with Ratchet, engaging the enemy Decepticons. But who would come to the but soon as Sam and his and company were pinned down by Mixmaster, who in the world would come to their rescue that none other than the SR-71 Blackbird Seeker? Hang on. Jetfire! He chops Mixmaster in half and then decapitates him just by stomping on his neck with his right leg. Then he kills Scorponok, who ends up drilling a hole in his stomach, which was really painful too. Wow. Then Simmons, having chased Devastator up to the top of the Giza pyramid, calls on a calls on his former colleague to fire a USS Kidd laser cannon at the giant gorilla bastard, blowing his arm off and sending him down the pyramid like King Kong to his death. Then, after an airstrike that killed Long Haul and Scrapper and all various Decepticon drones, Megatron killed Sam, but ends up being pushed out by U.S. forces. This scared everybody, but he was lucky to be revived by the former primes. And with the Matrix having been regenerated, he picks it up and revives Optimus with its power. But he wasn't able to fully regain his energy when the fall showed up out of nowhere and started slaughtering people to get his hands on the Matrix of leadership. He brings it back to the pyramid. Wow! Yeah, the fallen Tony Todd. Luck thanks to Jetfire, sacrificing himself so that Jolt can attach all of his parts onto Optimus, making him Super Optimus Prime, giving him the ability to jet boost his way up to the pyramid to destroy the machine, and then he engages the Fallen and Megatron in a final battle. He wounds Megatron and ends up killing the Fallen in a straight up fight. And man, that was an awesome badass fight. He rips the Fallen's heart out. I rise, you fall. Yep, that's what he said. The movie also. And last of all, the film ends with Sam and Optimus looking out at the horizon while they were on their way back to the United States, with everyone safe and sound. Well, that is my review now, guys. I gotta, oh man, I got another one to do. 25 minutes. So be ready. It's another action figure review. See you there.